Hi, good afternoon. In this lesson, I'll tell you about present perfect progressive tense and its usage in English language. In English, present perfect progressive... Will you shut up? Hi folks, be warned. This is time for English grammar studies that won't contribute into your English fluency at all. What you need instead is practical English grammar that you can apply in your daily conversations. Stay with me, and you'll be speaking more fluent English in no time. Hi my friends, I'm back with a new English Harmony video episode, and this time we'll look at what is the best way of speaking about past events. During our daily conversations, especially if they're informal, we use the past tense a lot, and that's where foreign English speakers may start struggling with expressing themselves clearly and fast enough so that the story they're telling doesn't lose its relevance and appeal. Let's say you're at work and you meet a co-worker of yours. You want to tell her about an argument that broke out between two other employees. So you're saying the following: and then Jamie threw the fact at her that she had left the mug on her desk the day before as well, and that she never wants to see it happen again. Donna went all red, and I thought she was going to explode. Okay, let's look at the passage and analyze it a bit from the grammar standpoint, and also from conversational English point of view. So you're telling about an event that took place in the past, and you're using the simple past tense when starting off. Jamie threw the fact at her. The next event, however, took place even before Jamie had the conversation with Donna, so you can't use the simple past anymore. If you follow proper English grammar rules, you have to use past perfect instead. So you carry on with that she had left mug on her desk. But now, listen to what this very sentence would most likely sound like if spoken by a native English speaker. And then Jamie's throwing the fact at her that she left the mug on her desk. Did you notice? I didn't say, and then Jamie threw the fact at her. I said, and then Jamie's throwing the fact at her. Are you a bit confused? Are you wondering, hold on, why would a native English speaker go for present continuous when telling about past events? Do you want to tell me, Robbie, that native English speakers don't use past tense in conversations? Okay, let me dispel your confusion and let's clarify the things. Native English speakers do use simple past and past perfect tenses, of course they do. However, our topic today is about telling about a past event during a conversation, and that would involve a bit lengthier story than just a few sentences. For instance, if you're telling about what happened during your birthday party on Saturday night, you might be speaking for 2, 3 or 5 minutes before you've revealed every interesting detail. So, while correct and proper English grammar would demand you to use the corresponding past tenses, native English speakers often use simple and simple progressive tenses to tell the story and make it more alive. The reason for doing that is because it's slightly easier to get the speech going, as you can substitute past perfect for simple past, and you can speak a bit faster and in a more natural manner. If native English speakers do it all the time, why would you want to sound like reading from a book? If you want to become conversationally fluent, you need to adopt natural English speaking habits, and this happens to be one of them. And if you look at it from a storytelling perspective, it actually does make sense. By using the present tenses, you get your listener more emotionally involved in the story, and it heightens the whole conversation experience. Okay, let me give you another example now, and you'll be able to compare the two different types of speech. So here's the first way of talking to your friend Mike, whom you met on the street when walking to the nearest shop to do some grocery shopping. I'll be using proper standard English grammar, and I'll go for past tenses because I'll be telling a story about past events. Oh, hello Mike, how's things? How are you doing? Remember we met last Friday and I told you I was going to go out the next day to a birthday party of a friend of mine where Michelle was also invited. So I arrived and I saw her chatting in a corner with someone. I put on this careless look and walked down to her and said hello, pretending I had no idea she had been saying all those terrible things behind my back. And now you'll hear the second part of the conversation changed to present tense. So, I'm arriving and I'm seeing her chatting in a corner with someone. I'm putting on this careless look and walking down to her, and then I say, hello, pretending I have no idea she's been saying all those terrible things behind my back. Did you feel the difference? Well, in the first version, I was telling everything in quite a normal way. The second way of saying the whole thing did make it sound a bit more exciting, didn't it? I was using the present tense, and as the very name suggests, it makes it sound as if it's going on in the present time, right now, at this moment. And make no mistake though, I'm not saying you have to start messing up your speech by randomly swapping tenses and think that you're going to sound more natural by doing that. Especially if you're having slight issues sometimes when getting your English speech right. You have to speak correctly, no doubt about that. What I'm saying is that when you tell a lengthy story about something that happened a short time ago, you can use present and present continuous tenses to make your chat partner more involved. And at the same time, it will be a bit easier for you to speak, as present tenses are easier to use when speaking. You don't have to worry about the past forms of irregular verbs and stuff like that, but it's actually not the main argument in favor of this type of speech during real-life English conversations. The main reason why you'd want to do it is to sound more natural, easygoing, and make your story more exciting. And by the way, you don't have to worry about mixing both past and present tenses when telling about the same event in English. People do it all the time, and there's nothing wrong with it. So listen to another sample speech and pay attention to how I'm interchanging past and present tenses to emphasize the main point. Imagine that the cell phone conversation had interrupted your chat with the neighbor, and you're resuming it by saying, "Sorry Mary, where was I? Ah yes, I was telling you how we went down to the mall last Saturday, and then the tire just went off in the middle of highway. All I felt was a sudden jerk, and the next thing I know is Jeff cursing at the top of his voice, and I'm thinking, what on earth is going on now?" The next moment, I realized, of course, that it's the car tire that burst, and luckily enough, we pulled over and got the tire changed in no time. Did you notice how I changed over to present tense in the middle of the story? Did you notice that it helped me to express the action and the emotions that were going on at the moment of the accident? I was telling you about my experience as if I'm going through it once more at this very moment, and this is a very powerful technique. So start using the same speech technique when speaking in English, and you'll notice that it's much easier to speak that way. Don't hesitate to speak in the present tense when telling a story about past events, and I'll bet you feel more confident when speaking English with your friends, work colleagues, and just anyone else. Okay, thanks for listening to me, and see you next time again.